Cheers to 34. Welcome to What's Tea with DJ. Birthday edition. Host. Yes, you've never seen her before. She goes by a lot of names. I'll let her introduce herself. However, this is a very special episode where your host gets interviewed by Bestie. Sit down and tune in. Well, you can go ahead and tell the people who you are, and then we can say that soon.
So, as she said, I am her bestie from college. We were roommates for like 2 years. I go by, there's Miss Mac, but I prefer being called Kiki.
Yes. Don't call me. It's only for me, actually.
Yeah, it is.
So, now, let's get into it. So, let's get the people who want. Yes, please do.
Sure. Okay, Mary, so you know we've been on each other for about 15 years, correct?
So, yes, when I was talking about 16 years.
Yeah. Okay, so when you look back at the person you were, what stands out to you?
We're just going into this. When I look back at who I was, my resiliency, your girl had it a little hard out here, but we all have a story, right? That's okay. I was saying my resiliency. I was and if I could really talk to myself like 15 years ago, like right before college, I don't think my 15-year ago self would believe.
I agree. Homegirls literally arose. I come in her.
I paid her.
Let's just see on that.
Oh, period. All right.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Okay. I've watched you wear a lot of different hats.
Accolades people.
What it said earlier, do you think prepared to become a podcast? Pause. We are both mass comm majors, by the way.
Period. So if y'all out there, drop a comment.
This communication can get deep.
It can. This ain't a game. What prepared me? Honestly, my schools. All my schools. Middle school, high school, college. I feel like every school, because I went to 4 different middle schools. Some people don't know. And I feel like at every school I went to, they were like, oh, Meredith will speak, Meredith will present, Meredith will introduce people, Meredith, so I was thrown into this shit. It was what like hell's for me. So I would have to say school. By the time I got to college, they knew that I would introduce the speaker, interview a speaker, write a paper. It was just Meredith.
And speaking of that, she was my communicator that brought me out of my comfort. So I used to put her on the stand too. Meredith, introduce me. So she's always been that. And I would like to add your teachers, the advisors you've had in your life.
That is very true, especially in my high school days. Like, I wouldn't be here without my teachers from high school. If y'all out there, I know who y'all is. And then just taking that same energy to college and them same kind of people looked out for me. It was just. They tried to get me to do the radio in college, but I was going.
I tried that specifically me because I was in radio, so I tried. But she was there side by side anyway.
Like this. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. If someone told you would be hosting a podcast, what would your reaction have been 15 years?
I know you fucking lying. I know you fucking lying.
Yeah.
Because, this just was never my bag. First of all, I started listening to podcasts like 6 years ago. Never listened to a podcast. When I only listen to one for real, that's all I listen to. And then, after listening to them for so long, I was like, talking about crime and stuff. And, I was supposed to start a podcast a few years ago with another person story. And so when that one didn't pan out, I was like, that's fine. I don't really give a fuck. And so then I kept listening to that one. Like, dang, that's good though. But I still didn't think nothing of it. And people kept telling me, some podcast, some podcast. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck about? What? Are you always talking? I mean, but to me, people got on podcasts, it was like this intense conversation. I'm like, I just didn't understand like what I would do. So then everybody's always like, write a book about your life, write a book about your life. And I always said, I agree, but I'm not going to do that. I will always say that I would write or make a movie. That's what I've always said, like I would make a movie. Yeah. And so before this podcast came, last year I decided I was going to make a podcast about my life. But I didn't do that. I ended up getting with the CEO of Scumbag Season, and he got me. We kind of like switched direction to like this, what I do now. Okay. But I'm glad I did this. Because it's like, I like this. And I will still do the one about my life, but this one prepares me. Like now I know what to do. I got the settings. Like I'm still, and I get to do that when I'm like trying to figure out how I'm going to describe myself to them. So 15 years ago, I would have just been like, you're like, please stop fucking playing. Yeah.
Well, we all gotta get to our levels before we become. Sure. But you're getting that, bro. I'm proud of you. All right. Was there a defining moment that makes you realize you want to start having conversations publicly through a podcast? But you have to start with this.
Not necessarily to a podcast, though. Okay, so originally, the only thing I would have ever done was write. And even still, I wasn't going to play myself, you know? So I was like, technically, I would have never publicly told my story or anything like that, technically. So I guess for me, it was really just being thrown to the wolves. So we just interviewed Deuce, that kid Deuce, and he's the CEO of Scumbag. Okay. And he was like, "Oh, you're trying to do a podcast? Great, we're gonna start tomorrow." And I was like, I like that. Right on that. Yeah, he was like, "No, nothing with no." And so, yeah, and I think I like that he did that because I would have kept being like, "I'll get someone, I'll put on my column." And he was like, "Nope, we're doing it." And me and my manager were just having the conversation. Because I
don't know, you never met you, but thank you. Okay, girlfriend, what was happening in your life when the idea popped in your head when it first came through? What was happening?
What was happening was I didn't have a creative outlet. I don't want to say going through a lot, but going through a lot. You know, just life type shit. But it was like so back to back. It was just like I just kept feeling like I was just getting beat up all the time, and I just didn't have nothing to show for it. And I'm like, I need to start doing something. And at first I thought I was gonna try writing again. I was like, no. Then I was like, well, maybe I can just do like digital voice notes, and that's like my journal entries. But then I was like, I'm not consistent with that. And I was like, I need something. And me and Elle was like, well, let's just do a podcast. Like, let's do a podcast and let's, like, that way I can just get on there and start talking about some shit. And that can really get, like, because then I was talking. Like, I didn't have no outlet. I didn't know what I was doing. It was just, like, a whirlwind of things. And I'm like, I need something. Like, I need something to get me off it. And I think that was my home when I knew. That's good. What were your biggest fear
or uncertainty when you released your first episode?
People on the internet get memes, which I wasn't really worried about that. I think I was embarrassed with myself, bro. I just want to get out there and look something dumb. Like, I was it. I just like, please, Lord, don't let me look dumb. And I went on and I interviewed Obey. It was my first interview, and he's a July 2. And I see the hey, brother. And like, my lighting was bad, his lighting was bad. So like that. But when I went back and looked from there, me and Elle were able to clean up every single episode. So like I had him, somebody else, and for every episode I took something from it until I got where I am, essentially, which are videos in which so I'm happy. Yeah, no,
All right, girl. Looking back,
okay.
what part came naturally to you, and what did you have to do to work hard to develop growth and evolution? Want me to repeat?
No, yes, I got it. All right, what came naturally was personality. Okay, what came naturally was the personality. I'll say that. Just need to get out there and talk to somebody. So that, yeah, I'll say that. Now, what came with growth and evolution was okay. So like, I start a conversation, I can hold a conversation. What I can't do is like, what am I trying to say? Transfer energy. So like, if I don't have a guest that's like maybe not as energetic, I kind of start like falling in that, and then like it dies. So I need to learn how to continue to be a host, an interviewer, keep it alive. No matter how my guest is, I have to keep. Only me have to keep it. If they're interesting, then that's a plus. Right. I have to keep it interesting. So that's been a learning curve for me because I'll just be like, we're gonna talk to you, but like I have to engage. Like I have to engage more. I have to get them engaged. So being like a host, that's been hard because I've done it, but I've done it with crowds. So doing it through a screen is so different. Right. So that's definitely been a big part of it.
And think about that. Do you think from over the years now that you are a podcaster, do you think it has changed you personally?
I think it changed me personally because now I can look at stuff from other views that I would never. So like now I could be like, oh, well, maybe like that person might be good at DJing or singing. Or why is it not so personable? But now I can see that what they do in entertainment versus them is two different people. Whereas I just thought because I'm like that you're the same person regardless of what you do. That's not the case. I think that I'm starting to learn that personalities can vary. Besides just, oh, this is me and this is what I do. It can literally be different people, although it's the same.
Because sometimes when a person does things for the career wise and making money, they lock in another level of who they are to perform versus not. They're different. So everybody is not the same, and marriage is the same on or off. But now I feel like more people do switch roles, and you're more of a different because you are where you go, and that's a great thing. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. Next question: was there a particular interview, episode, or moment you realized the podcast was becoming something bigger than you?
The moment when I realized the podcast was becoming bigger than I realized is when people start inboxing me. And I talked about that a little bit with Deuce in his interview because I thanked him for giving me the opportunity to do this. And I'm like, yo, what's these inbox is crazy. Like, people are like that. Like, people are like, hey, I see what you're doing out there. It's so cool. You're gonna be on the show. And I'm like, a show that only got 5 likes on the last video. My show? You want to talk? You want to fuck with me? Or like when other blogs start liking my photos, stuff like that. That's happened a couple times too. I'm like, me? Y'all see me? So that's when I realized, like, okay, I gotta keep it going. Like my first month or two, I'm like, okay. But then it really started like something like one or two of my videos got like 10,000 views.
What?
Like some of them got over 30 shares. Like at one point in time, I had like 18,000 views on my dashboard. It was crazy. My first few months, I've dropped off because I've been busy, but like my first like 3 months was crazy. And that's when I realized I was like, all right, you got to keep it going, girl. You have to keep it going.
But you never know where something was going to take you. I love it. Thanks, followers.
Thanks. Go follow me. What's the
Okay, so what's the most important? You are sitting down and listening to so many people.
Honestly, the one takeaway that everybody said is something. Everybody said,
And we just talked
about that. All my rappers, DJs, everybody that I've had on the show. A podcaster, you from Slim?
Yeah.
Slim, I haven't met his from people.
Well, I mean, just you now, but you know.
But what else?
Okay.
Him, I had him and his co-host. But doing the content, hosting the content, making the content, planning the content, like it's been a day ain't lying. As soon as I dropped off from being consistent, everything went down. My views went down, my likes went down, and you know what? I'm not even mad because you get out what you put in.
That's true.
So I was busy. I didn't have as much time to dedicate. I was slowing down on my interviews. I wasn't as hot as I was, and it showed. So I'm like, okay, I just need to get back consistent and get it back. So it's consistency. That's the biggest lesson I would give to any content creator is be consistent.
So now you know what you have to do. Let's be consistent. Let's go, girl.
Okay.
And now that I know what's going on, I'm gonna take my part.
Oh Lord.
Make sure you're consistent.
This girl's gonna be texting me at all hours of the day and night. Did you report?
But you promise when you follow up.
The dick trouble was cooking too.
I don't just be up myself. I don't even have to be pretty.
Yeah, your friend. If I was wearing blush, I'd be blush. It's so darn sweet. Girl.
I'm done. Okay. Have any guests challenge your perspective or change the way you see the world?
Wow. That's a good one. Yeah, we're gonna do a little T-sip on that.
A T-sip and drink, not drink, but think about that response. I'm done. Not done.
I'm gonna go with GQ the General. And the reason why I'm gonna go with GQ the General is because he's a mix of like urban rap and Christian rap. It's not exactly Christian, but it's not exactly what we listen to. But with him colliding his worlds like that, like he's staying true to himself, he's talking about the things that matter. He's
not actually like inspiration.
Yes, he even does. I know he had took like a little social media break, but he was doing like Wisdom Wednesdays where he would come on there and drop a little. If it wasn't a Bible verse, it would be like something to motivate. So he was doing more with his life. He wasn't about just getting likes, like he was using it to promote what he truly believed in. And it's built into his music, like the creativeness. And I thought that was really cool. He was one of my first interviews. I think it was like interview before. And I thought that was really cool. And just sitting and just he was dropping like gym after gym after gym. I'm like, yo, he was great. And I definitely think that changed my perspective. Like just knowing that there are people out there that are really doing the same thing as the next person. And they're truly using their platform like for real.
So piggybacking off of that story, what did you learn the most? What stood out to you the most? You can take with you.
What stood out to me the most with GQ or that interview was being yourself is gonna get you further than anything else. Like GQ is not like he ain't switched up, he don't care music this, manager that, rap this. Like his toes is back. They 10 and they stay. And I think his perspective on it don't matter about what's going on around you. Thank you, do you, and that should have formed you or alone. And that's how he's done his music. Like he didn't have to switch up and sound like NLE or Bang or nobody. He like his music gonna reach people that it, and to him, as long as he can change one person or like give that message to one person, that's all he cares. And that really meant something to me because I'm similar. If I can one person give that info that they're looking for, that means a lot to me. And that's GQ. They doing crap. Shout out to GQ. We'll have you back soon.
GQ. Hi. All right, girl. What's been the most rewarding part of this journey that people on the outside might not see?
Oh, honestly, keeping my skills sharp. In college, I used to do not this, but I used to record and I used to edit and I used to post. And I graduated college and I immediately stopped doing all of it. This is my first time doing content since college. Yeah, like I have not, so over 15 years. So this is like what the people don't see is me fitting this into my schedule. My blackboard that I have on the wall that's filled with names and dates. My calendar that I got paired with my manager, the DM, the getting left off, like, and I'm not looking for anybody to see it, but like, y'all see me get on here and I post and I'm like, but I hired a social media manager, like, it's, you know, it's a lot of moving parts. And I think that's kind of like re-rotating in my brain from what I did. And I think that's like what the people don't see is like my skills. Every episode is constantly just working this way through. So I'm
and what she's not saying, like what she done in college, I feel has really prepared her to what she's doing now, the person she is today. Meredith has always been the photographer, the videographer. She's always been the spokesperson. And she was always that person. She even interned with one of our videographers hired by our college, and she interned with him. And she was already like recording videos and events around college, basketball games, whatever we was having, shows. So
very involved.
She was always on that level with a camera, with her mouth. So I feel like that has built her up to what she's doing now. It's nice to see a person grow. You know, from one place to the next and actually sticking to it. A lot of people change their mind. But
I changed my mind for had to go to work, yeah. I did. And I'm honestly, this is great. Even if I stop the podcast tomorrow, there's been no other experience like this.
And shout out to our teachers that push us.
R.I.P.
Okay,
y'all know what I'm talking about. BC, y'all know what I'm talking about. We wouldn't be here without love.
We didn't. I definitely would not.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been broken out of my shell a couple of times.
We pulled this up after.
But to our advisors, y'all know y'all really have a deep, like, that's what I'm looking for. Connection, but talent. I will also say gift to what you're doing. You can really change your student life. So if you're an advisor out there, a teacher out there, and you're there, because you never know who life is changing in the future.
For sure.
All right, let's get back to the question. If you can go back and give advice to yourself before recording your very first episode, what would you say?
Work scheduling, bro. The scheduling. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not that. right? But I lost a couple interviews from people because I rescheduled them.
Yeah.
And they just weren't interested in it. And that's fair. That's, they're right. Yeah, I totally get it. But I even, thank God, I've come across some other people where I've forgotten their interview. Work on it. Scheduling, it's not horrible. When it comes to my scheduling. Like, if I could, before my first interview, I would already have my board, would already have the calendar set up. I would already have, because I was figuring out days to record as I was recording. I didn't even have none of that set up. I would have had all of that set up so I could it just flowed. My schedule has been so choppy. I 6 months ago, schedule.
So now you know, so what you can do is go up and down.
Yep. Yeah.
15 years from now.
Damn.
So when she met me, okay, what do you hope people will say about the influence as a podcaster and storyteller?
Two things. One, anybody can do this. I know that people already know anybody can do this, but I'm so serious. If you have something that you just pick up the phone, bro. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Just pick up the phone and start talking to it. Don't worry about likes. Don't worry about views. Don't just start talking. And anybody can do this, and it can take you anywhere. Just do it. Get out there and do it. That would be my number one. My number two is I would hope that the legacy that I leave behind shows the audience that the only person that matters is you. I have had straight people, gay people, black, white. None of that matters on my podcast. You come on my podcast and we're talking about you, what you're doing, and why you here. So you can be you. And it's not crazy. It doesn't sound crazy. It doesn't look crazy. Your music, your whatever it is that we talk about, that shit is you, and it's okay. It's okay. I've had a couple gay people on my show, and I'm like, how would you tell someone else that's struggling to be themselves? Like, what would you tell them? They're like, man, fuck them to be yourself. And
that could be an interview for another time, like with me and my story coming up. We all got our own thing.
I was there for that one. It was about to get real. So, but to her point, it's like I've had a couple people in here who are like, man, be yourself. Like, all that extra noise is so beyond me. And that's all I want to ever preach on What's Tea. I created this, Deuce and I created this, so people, especially like underground artists, can have a voice for themselves. Talk about what they want to talk about, not what the media wants to talk about. Talk about what's important to them, not what's important to the work. Like, this is a safe space.
Okay, so I know it's your birthday. We have to get going. We have to plan. So I'm gonna just wrap this up. I would love to stay here and keep, chit chat with my girl, but we got things to do. We do. And we're working on her schedule because since we shared so much history, girl. Okay, I'm curious. What do you think the younger version of yourself would be most proud of today? Oh my gosh, no tears.
Oh, right. I'm like, you're right, because I can't fix it.
Oh my gosh.
What's good? I think my younger self would be proud that I didn't fall to the ways of the world. And I don't mean
I love that.
To the club or nothing like that. A lot of people don't know my story. But I could be in the mental hospital, I could be dead, I could be somebody. I could be a lot of things because I didn't have a lot of things, which a lot of people have experienced, honestly. And I just powered through. But I think because that's what I wanted to do. It wasn't fake. It wasn't like, I just need to survive. No, I wanted to just be better. I just wanted to grow up and I wanted to be happy. I wanted to be real with myself and others. I wanted to just
And it takes a lot of mental power.
It's the does. And spiritual power. What's wrong with the yeah, and you can easily fall back into them. I remember with my kid, that shit was so hard, and it's like, what is bitch in the morning gonna get you? This is gonna get you nowhere. And I think my younger self would be proud that we have kept us.
Oh my God. I love that. Please don't make me cry.
Don't make me cry. I can't fix my makeup, bro. Please.
You don't even understand how proud of you I am, because I do know her story, and I'm quite sure the things I don't know that she kept hidden. But the things I do know, could I? And intuition, I don't know.
I don't know.
But I'm just so proud of her. Like, oh my God, I'm so proud of Meredith. Like, this shit is crazy. Like, I love her so much. And she's a very, to go through what she has been through and to come out being a better person, a good person.
I could have been a bitch.
Literally.
I could have been a bitch with some stuff I've been through.
I'm still a bitch on some of the shit you was through. I'm waiting on you. But you got the last teeth and crying facts. But I really am proud of her. She came out being a better, positive person from the negative things she came from. And I'm just,
the book stuff was happening to me in college.
No, literally.
I was just, yeah, for real. Like, I just had to. Be trying to keep you down. And if you let it win, it'll win. No, I'm not into that. This my life. Now I'm going with this shit. I don't know.
It's a prime example of stuff made because nobody taught her how to keep pushing. Nobody taught her how to be a better person. Nobody taught her how to keep striving and mentally and spiritually just keep yourself sane. She taught herself.
I did.
And then she met friends, good friends, to help her through the way. But before
I met anybody, it was just me.
And she's here. My girl is here. She coming through. Watch out.
Big fella foe. The biggest. Somebody called me E.T. That's what they do. That's period. Thank you.
Our generation, we don't age like the ones before us and the ones after us.
We don't know this whole.
None of us. I'm probably our generation, but
no.
Because I know I don't look 34.
Don't know where. Nowhere. Not in this house.
And I'm great to fuck out.
And I love you. I can't wait to get more.
I'm done. Can't wait to get more. But
yeah, I'm with that little pack right here. I need some up.
This my girl. I love her. She is gonna do great things. Now I'm just.
Oh, you're gonna do great things.
We are. We push each other. And that's a good friendship.
No. It is. We don't talk all the time. But we don't have to. Because if she call me, I'm coming. I'll walk.
Okay. And she'll 12, 10 people down.
Hello. I'm
calling to come.
You gotta get through me to get the hustle.
Okay. And me to get the her.
Period. That's how we gonna do it.
But we're gonna do it gracefully.
Unless I gotta get hungry.
Oh my God.
Thank you for joining us here at West St. Thank you for our first in-person interview, my birthday interview. Thank you for coming and doing this last minute. I just told her the powers go down. Too late.
I had to pull my roots out.
She did. You would think she's on the knees. I did that shit. Thank you so much, Miss Mag. We love you here at West TV. Happy birthday. Thank you all for joining us at West TV with MJ. I will see you soon. Have a good night.